Hello everyone, welcome back into my Pilates studio. Today we're going to do a foam roller class, so if you've got a foam roller lying around anywhere, that's fantastic. The foam rollers are really good for anybody to use, but if you do have balance issues or if you do have osteoporosis or osteopenia, I would suggest that you try the full length half foam roller instead, because for this it's just a lot easier for you to get onto. I'll just demonstrate. You don't have to take your spine into flexion. You can basically just lie down next to it and then just roll yourself directly up onto it. So it's just a little bit safer. But if you've got a full foam roller, just get onto it really carefully. So I like you to have something to put underneath your head when you're working on the foam roller as well. So I've got my trusty little pillow there, but you could even use just a couple of towels or something that you could put underneath. Now it's up to you if you use any other props. You could be using some balls to put underneath your hands, so the larger spiky balls, or you could even put them under your feet if you feel like you want just a bit more of a challenge or you want a bit more feedback, especially if you're finding when we do some of the balance challenges that you can't quite hold your balance. So I'm just going to pop my pillow up there and then just come and lie down on your back. It'll sometimes slip off as you get on, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Good, excellent. So I just want you to take a moment just to get used to being on your foam roller there. Just give your pelvis and your rib cage, your shoulders, your legs just a chance to settle down, and you might just have to do some little adjustments. I always find like my space between my ribs and my pelvis seems to increase a little bit as soon as I lie down here for a little while, and then you might just want to shift your hips forward. And then just allow your body to gently sink to one side. So just putting more weight onto one side of your body, and then come back, and then just sink over towards the other side, and then come back. Because this is a piece of balance equipment that you're working on here, I want you to really be aware of when you are off balance, and you'll find that that's a little bit unstable, and then just correcting it to where you are on balance. So it's just a really nice way for your brain to figure that out before you actually start moving on your foam roller here. Good. So we're just going to do one more. So you're sort of resetting your GPS system here, just helping your body to establish the two halves of the body. Now just bring your focus back into your pelvis, and you're going to gently rock back and rock forward and rock back, flattening your lower spine, feeling your tail curling up, and then rocking forward. And just add a gentle exhale as you go back and an inhale when you come forward, remembering to breathe through your nose as you make those breaths flow through your body. And then just settle your pelvis into the middle. And again, if your spine is decompressed a little bit, you might need to just scoot your tail forward. And you might now start to notice that the back of your rib cage is starting to melt more towards your foam roller. So you're just going to take a moment there to try and encourage that to happen. Cross your arms over so that you've got elbow to elbow and you're holding onto your shoulder blades. It's a bit like you're giving yourself a hug. And then just allow your elbows to get a little bit heavy. And you're going to just twist your ribs. So just pull one shoulder blade away from the foam roller, settle back into the middle, and then just twist the other way and come back. Use an inhale as you open that space between your shoulder blades, and exhale as you settle back, and an inhale as you twist the other way and settle back. And now we're going to swap over again, just hugging, and you're going to stretch over to one side and come back, and then stretch over to the other side and come back. And one more time, reaching over to the first side, coming back, and reaching to the second side and coming back. Good. And then just take a moment to feel how that feels. Hopefully you've got a bit more space through your ribs. So you should be very aware of where your pelvis and your rib cage is sitting now. Now bring your focus into your head, and you're going to gently nod your chin down, just feeling length through the back of the neck, And then just release and your chin will go back to where it normally does. No need to force it. Find that gentle lengthening and slowly release. And gentle lengthening and slowly release. And gentle lengthening and slowly release. Right, so now we're just going to let the arms float up again. Going to do a little bit more work over here around the shoulders. So we often get quite tight between the shoulders. This is a lovely way to start off by massaging in there. So you're just going to circle your shoulders around and your arms just come along for the ride. So you might find some crunchy bits between your shoulder blades. Just be gentle with yourself, but it is lovely just to get them to release. And then we're just going to reverse, circling the other way, finding that nice fluidity. And you might notice that that crunchiness is starting to not be there anymore, and it's just becoming a bit more fluid. Beautiful. And then just stop. Now you're going to reach one arm up to the ceiling, and you're going to sink it down. And then you're going to reach the other arm up. So you're going to start feeling a bit of an oblique pull here and sinking down. Something you might not have been aware of if you've ever done this on the ground. And by the way, you can do all of these exercises on the ground as well. Reaching up and coming down. Reaching up as you inhale, exhale to sink down. Reaching up as you inhale, exhale to slide the shoulder down. And just one more time on each side, reaching up, sinking down, reaching up and sinking down. Good. Now you're just going to round your arms as if you're rounding around a big beach ball. And now see if you can move that arm out to the side without your shoulder blade coming into contact with the foam roller. So you're going to inhale as you open. You're going to exhale as you slide your ribs down to come back. But the shoulder blade stays really stable. If you're finding you can't do that, your arms might be too high, drop them down below shoulder level. And just find that lovely stability. Let's move on to the other side. See if that side's any different, or whether you've got more or less control. And just see if you can balance the two sides out. Inhale as you open. Exhale as the ribs move to bring you back. Inhale to open and exhale to come back. Now see if you can move both arms. So inhale to open, exhale back, inhale to open, exhale back, and just one more time. Good. You're going to extend your arms, and now you're going to take one arm back and one arm forward. And then inhale to match them back up. And exhale, sliding the ribs down to provide a nice firm anchor and coming back. So feel your thumb leading back and your little finger leading forward. And inhale to come back. And exhale to reach the arms in opposite directions. And inhale to come back. Now we're going to reach the arms in opposite directions, and here you really have to put your thinking cap on, because we're going to do a windmill to switch the arms and then match them back up. Take the same arm back that just came up, and now open the arms sideways to create that oppositional picture on the other side, and then come back up. Reach the arm that just came forward back again, circle open, and match back up, and then take that same arm that just came from overhead back again, circle overhead, and come back. Good. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a brain teaser. Now let's move both arms together. So you're going to make a big circle, drawing the ribs down as the arms go overhead, and keep them in your peripheral vision as you circle around towards your hips. Coming up. You're going to exhale as you go back and start opening. Inhale as the arms complete the circle and lift. Exhale to move the arms overhead and open. Inhale as you complete the circle and come back up. Exhale, feel your abdominal supporting you as you bring the arms around in a big sweeping circle. Pause at the top, and now we're going to reverse. So you're going to bring your arms down, circle open, and then coming back up. You're going to exhale as you open the arms overhead, and inhale as you come down towards your hips. Exhale as you circle open and overhead. Inhale as you come forward towards your hips. And one more time, circling open and coming back. Lovely. So now we can do a nice stretch for the front of the shoulder. So you're going to bend your elbows next to your ribs, and then you're going to fold them open so that you look like a W when we look down at you from the top. So the elbows are slightly below shoulder level here, and the fingertips are pointing to the wall behind you. Now you might find that your ribs are flaring here. That's absolutely fine because you're sort of sinking down below the level of the floor. So if the floor was the height of the shoulder blade, you're sort of sinking around behind it. And you should feel a nice stretch just through the front of the shoulders. If you're not feeling much of a stretch there, you might even want to try and explore lengthening the fingertips to the wall behind you and back down, and just see your range of motion. Just see where you can find that stretch. Bring the elbows back down to the sort of a little W that you had before, and then just release that stretch and come up. Good, we're going to do that one more time. So just opening out, and you're just going to relax your shoulders around the foam roller. And if you need to, you can explore into a capital W and then back into a lowercase w. And just find where you're getting the most stretch. So I'm getting a bit more stretch with my arms extended up a little bit more. So just hang out there for another couple of breaths. If it's too much, just bring your arms back up again. And then you're just going to bring the arms forward and just let them rest down next to you on the mat. Beautiful. So now we're just going to explore the hip, and the foam roller is a really good place for you to understand how the two hip halves behave when you lift one leg up off the ground. So if you feel your pelvis dropping or twisting, then that's not really what we're after. We want to use the abdominals to keep the pelvis nice and stable. So this is where we're going to use that lovely exhalation breath to come in and just hug the hips and the lower back nice and firmly. Okay, so we're going to exhale. You're going to slide your armpits down, so sort of reach towards your heel a bit. Press your right leg into the mat. You'll need to use your arms here as well, and just let one leg float up, keeping your foot flexed. And then inhale to come down. And exhale, slide your fingertips towards your heels, but pushing into the mat with the foot that's on the ground and the hands just a little bit to let the leg come up. So just pay attention to what your pelvis is doing here, and whether you can feel like you don't have to work too hard to get that leg up. If it feels like it's really hard to get your leg up, then you're probably tipping your hip. So just make sure you switch your butt on, so you can even flex the heel of the foot that stays on the ground, just to switch your hamstring on a little bit more. Try that again, flexing at the ankle, push the heel down to come up. Good. So just feeling the back of that hip working as you come up. Good. Now if you feel like you're relatively stable, I'm going to encourage you to pick the opposite arm up and the leg. So you're going to exhale, you're going to still slide your fingers down, thumb comes up towards the ceiling slightly as you lift the leg, and then slowly come down. Again, if you need to use that foot flex to help keep you stable, please do. And lifting up on the other side on the exhale, and inhale to come down, and exhale to switch, and inhale to come down, and exhale to lift, and inhale to come down. Good. Now we're going to allow both legs to come up. So if you're starting to feel uncomfortable on the foam roller, please come off and just lie on your back, and you can continue the class just straight on the ground. So you're going to exhale, you're going to lift one leg up, and then you're going to follow it with the other one. So now you might find a little bit of a wobble there, that's okay. You're just going to breathe, you're going to inhale. As you exhale, just feel your ribs melting and the smile across your abdominals. As you exhale now, just imagine you're pushing a heavy box out, and then pull the leg back in. Exhale, push the heavy box away from you as you straighten the leg. Inhale to pull in, and keep using your hands, trying to find your stability there. And exhale, there might be a few little shakes. Inhale to come in, and then slowly lower the feet down one at a time. Good, let's try that again. So I'm going to exhale, you're going to lift one foot up. Keep your pelvis nice and stable. Imagine that your abdominals are sinking and smiling across the front of your hips there as you lift the other one up. And we're going to exhale, sliding one leg out. pulling it back in. Exhale to slide out. Inhale to come in. Exhale, pushing that leg away. Inhale to come in. Exhale, sliding the other leg out. Inhale to come in, and then just placing your feet down one at a time. Beautiful. Let's just get you off the foam roller here. And you're just going to arrange it so that it sits underneath your feet now. And then you're just going to put your pillow in behind the back of your head again. Just coming back onto your back. And then just take a moment here just to feel how that feels. So you might find that your whole spine is relaxed and opened up. Quite a delicious feeling. I always feel like I've got a nice warm back and spine whenever I've done that. Good. All right, so now we're just going to make sure the feet are on top of the foam roller. You're going to place your hands behind the back of your head. You're going to inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to slide your ribs down, and that's the reason for the head lifting. Now from there, you're going to go back to your single hip flexion, but now you're going to push one foot down onto the foam roller as you lift the leg, and coming down. Transfer your weight, exhale to lift on the other side, inhale to come down, and then release and lower the head. We'll do that again. Exhale, feel both feet sinking as the ribs slide down. Exhale, lifting one leg up. Inhale to come down, finding that same lovely stability that you had on top of the foam roller, and slowly come down. On the next one, instead of lifting the legs, what we're going to do is we're going to push the foam roller away, and then we're going to pull it back in again. Okay? So as you exhale, you're going to start pushing the legs away, slide the ribs down, the head floats up, so everything arrives at the same time. Checking your feet, are they turning out? I'd like them to stay really parallel. Hold it there as you inhale, and now exhale, really pull your legs back, and you should feel a little bit of a tug just above your pubic bone there. Hold it there as you exhale, pushing away. Inhale and then exhale and pulling it back in towards you, and slowly come back down. So as you exhale, slide your ribs down, pushing the legs out, flexing through the feet, and then slowly pulling back in and coming down. Lovely. Now we're going to lift one leg up, put the opposite hand on the inside of the leg, and you're just going to exhale and gently push the two together, and then release. And again, push together. Feel how your armpit and your inner thigh connect with each other. So we're going to use this to basically do a cross pattern or a rotation pattern. So you're going to bring the other hand behind the back of your head. You're going to exhale, push the knee and the hand together and twist towards that leg that you're pushing into, and then inhale to come down. And we're going to do that again, and this time add an extension on the leg that's on the foam roller. So exhale, push the two together and extend that leg out, twisting through the ribs. Inhale, pull the leg back and lie down. And we'll just do two more, just twisting towards that side. Inhale to come back. And one more time, exhale, twisting out, whoa, loosening my foam roller again, and coming back. So that happens when you don't push your foot down enough to control it. So that's a bad move on my part. So now we're going to come on the other side, placing the hand behind the back of the head. Just practice pushing the two together, and inhale to release, and exhale, pushing the two together, and inhale to release. Now we're going to exhale, push the two together, and just twist towards that lifted leg, and inhale to come down. And now we're doing three more with that leg extension. So pushing out as you twist and come up, and inhale to go down. So making sure your pelvis stays nice and level here. And again, if this is really impacting on your neck, then I just want you to keep your head down. Good. And the last one, reaching out, and inhale to come down. I have a feeling there might have been a little bit of creative counting going on there. Right, so just keeping the feet and knees together, and again just swaying over and coming back, and swaying over and coming back. Lovely. So now we're going to continue working on the hips as well. You're just going to place your leg on the foam roller. And then if you haven't got a pillow, you can just make a little pillow with your arm, so you're just bending your elbow and holding onto the back of your head. Otherwise you can just place your pillow between your head and your arm, and if you need extra padding you can even fold the hand in underneath as well. So whatever feels most comfortable. The bottom leg is bent in front of you. Now just make sure that you are actually stacking your hips. So you're going to slide your leg out along the foam roller to find your little mouse hole in here. Think about your ribs coming level with your hips. So if your ribs are popping out in front of you, you might feel a bit of a strain across your back. Soften the ribs in, and you can take your top hand and just push the elbow in the opposite direction to the direction of your ribs. Alternatively, you can put your hand on the top of your hip to make sure that it's not climbing up towards your rib cage. So you're going to slide your leg out along the foam roller, keeping your hips really stable. You're just going to lift your thigh bone up off the foam roller and then come down. And exhale and lift, finding those same muscles here on the side of the hip that we used when we were shifting from side to side in your bridge position. So we just want to really strengthen that muscle for walking. That's the muscle that helps us to transfer weight when we're walking. And we don't want to get into the lower back when we're doing that. So here we're going to exhale, we're going to lift up. This is our last one. And now just bring the toes in. So you're going to scrunch the toes and release. Scrunch the toes and release. 3. Make sure you're not moving your ankles. 4. And the last one, 5. Good job. Just give that guy a bit of a massage. Now you're just going to add a little bit of a rotation for the upper body. So this is the sort of walking rotation that we would use. And on this one I would suggest that you maybe just prop, if you need to fold your pillow in half then do. But I want you to put one hand on your rib cage. The other leg is now, or that same leg that you just worked is now on top of the foam roller. You're going to send your hip away again, soften your ribs, and you're just going to twist your ribs as far back as you're not moving in your lower back. The arm is up on your hip, and you're going to actively pull the ribs down as you lift the arm up. So the arm can only go as high as you're not moving those ribs. Let your gaze come up towards the ceiling as well, and then bring the arm down. Exhale as you come up, and inhale as you come down. We're just going to do 3 more. Just gently moving that arm bone in the shoulder socket. There we go. Good. And the last one coming up. Lovely. Now just turning onto your back and just compare the two sides and just see how that's feeling. So you might notice that you're feeling like the floor is a bit broken, or that you're sloping off to one side. So I can feel my right leg feels a lot longer, and the right side of my rib cage feels lower and flatter towards the ground, whereas the other side still feels a bit scrunched up. So let's go on to the other side and even you out. So we're just going to switch over. Now if you haven't got a foam roller for this one, you could always just elevate your leg up on a couple of cushions or something like that, so that it comes to just below your hip height. Lovely. Right, so now we're just going to stack the top leg on top of the foam roller, lengthening out. So again, just checking in, are your ribs aligned with your pelvis? Have you got your little mouse hole underneath? Are you reaching the crown of the head away from your ankle? So you've got a nice standing foot here, so we're going to keep flexing through the foot. You're going to exhale, slide the leg out along the foam roller, making sure that you're not hiking your hip up, and then lift your leg and come down. If that feels too unstable, then just put your hand in front of you on the mat and just lift as you exhale. Inhale as you lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. So you might feel the muscles working here in that in that hip socket over there. Let's lift up, lower down, drawing the belly in as you exhale to lift. Inhale to lower down. Last one, exhale to lift. You're going to hold it there. And now just scrunch and release your toes 5 times. 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Switch your foam roller. You're now going to put it in front of you. And you're going to rest your leg on top of it. Good. Send your top hip away again. And you're going to soften the rib cage. You're going to look up towards the ceiling a little. So only as far as you're not moving your lower back. So you might even need to put something behind it that you're not dropping into it, that you're just twisting your ribs. So you'll notice it's not that far. Okay, so that's sort of about the maximum that you would use if you were walking. And then you can bring your hand round to hold your ribs down, just to check that you're not lifting the ribs as you lift the arm up and down. So we're just going to exhale to come up with the arm, inhale to come down. As the ribs draw down, the arm floats up. Inhale to come down, and just 2 more. And the last one. Good. And then just lying on your back again and just comparing the 2 sides. Lovely. That feels totally delicious. Okay, so now we're going to get you to come and sit up. And we're just going to do the mermaid. So you have lots of different options for doing your mermaid here. You can sit with your legs in that sort of figure 4 position if you like. Alternatively, you could be sitting cross-legged, or you can sit in Japanese style. So I'm actually going to choose to do this today. Just make sure that the foot that's on the ground in front of you here is dorsiflexed and that you're on the side of the ankle. It's just a safer position for you to be. And just place this leg wherever it's comfortable, okay? You're not trying to force that back hip down, because otherwise you're going to twist your pelvis. And if you find that that's really uncomfortable on your hips, if you've chosen this, it might not be the best option for you. But your other alternative, if you want to get there, is to just put your butt up on your pillow, or using something else that can just support the hips there. You're going to just have the foam roller here beside you, and then what you're going to do is place your hands on top of the foam roller, or your one hand on top. You're going to turn the palm forward towards me, and you're going to bend your elbow slightly. Now remember how we just worked on pulling that rib cage down? So you're going to draw the rib cage down to float the arm up. And now we're just going to reach up and over, and then you allow that arm to go out a bit, and then pulling back in. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale to come back up. Now just turn yourself. You might just want to bring the foam roller forward on the diagonal a little bit. You're going to push forward, and as you push your arms forward, feel your belly drawing back to curve your spine. And now you're going to pull the foam roller in, and you're going to lengthen your spine, reaching your breastbone forward and out. Exhale, pushing back, rounding. Inhale, pulling in, lengthening and lifting up through the breastbone. And again, exhale, pushing out to round. Inhale, and we're going to pull forward with the breastbone and then come back. Lovely, beautiful movement, everybody. Now we're going to come on to the other side. So just dorsiflexing that front foot, bending this leg out behind you. If you can get your sort of foot underneath your butt, that's fine. If you can't, just try and get it into a comfortable position here. This hand is slightly in front of you. This palm is facing towards me. Think of sliding the ribs down to float the arms up, so you've got nice support underneath the armpit. So you're going to push down into the foam roller to come up into your side bend, and then you're going to push out, and you're going to pull in. So you maintain your side bend. You're just going to reach long, and then you're going to pull back in. You're going to reach long, stretching through the side body, pull in. We're going to inhale as we go out, exhale as we come back. Now twist and bring your hands onto the foam roller, just bringing it slightly forward. You're going to push forward, and you're going to curve your spine away, and then you're going to pull your hands in towards you, moving your breastbone forward and up. And exhale, rounding the spine, really feeling that sort of distance increasing as the spine goes back. And now pull the foam roller and the breastbone towards each other, closing that space. And again, exhale, pushing away, curving. Inhale, pulling towards you as you lengthen. Last one, exhale, pushing away as you curve. Inhale, and lifting to lengthen. And then just settle back, coming into just a cross-legged position here. That's absolutely fine. And just checking in for a moment. How do you feel? That should be feeling quite delicious. Good. So now we're going to get you just into 4-point kneel. And you're just going to place your hands on top of the foam roller. So you're going to be slightly elevated here, nice sort of supported position for your wrist. I want you to think about having a nice triangle through the front of your pelvis and a nice neutral spine. So if you were a puppy, you'd be a very happy puppy. You're not going to be tucking your tail under. You're going to have a nice lengthened spine, pushing yourself up out of that foam roller. Now you're just going to do a shift again from side to side, but this time we're walking through the upper body. So I want you to feel yourself shifting over to your right hand, really pushing up away from the foam roller to reach the other arm forward. And just take note that I'm not trying to lift it up to my ear. I'm just releasing it forward and turning the thumb up, and then come back. And then you're going to shift over to the other side, pushing away, feeling all of these muscles wrapping in, and then just reach and come back in. Sliding over as you exhale and reach the arm forward. Inhale to come back, shifting over, sliding to the other side, and coming back. Good. Now we're just going to hold it there, and I just want you to imagine you can stretch the foam roller wide and then release. And exhale, pull your hands apart, feeling the muscles widening your shoulder blades across your back. And inhale to relax. And again, exhale, reaching away. Inhale to relax. Now you're going to pull wide, and you're also just going to bend your elbows, working your upper arm, and come back. So make sure that you're not collapsing your breastbone towards the floor when you're doing that. You're going to pull wide, you're going to hold that, feel your abdominals engaging, and just bend your elbows, and then slowly push up. And again, just bend your elbows and pushing up. Last one, just bend your elbows and pushing up. Good. And then just going backwards, having a nice stretch, reaching out nice and long. You're going to reach your arms forward, and then you're going to exhale, just curve your spine. Tail drops, head drops, but you're not coming off your heels. You're going to reach forward, lengthening out your spine, reaching the hands forward, and then pulling back in. And then just settle and rest. Good. Now, if you're feeling a little bit tight in the front of the hips, we can open up the front of the hip a little bit. So we're just going to finish off with a little hip flexor stretch here, quite a passive one. So you're going to lie on your back again. You're going to lift your butt, placing your foam roller underneath your pelvis. Okay, so not into your lower back, just underneath your pelvis. Lift your legs up one at a time. Then you're going to hug one leg into your chest and allow the other leg to sink towards the floor. And now just let the leg slide out. So you're going to keep your foot on the ground as you're doing this. Okay, and you're just going to hang out there. And you might find that gradually just releasing. So I don't want you to arch your back. Check that you're really drawing this leg in, and you should feel a little bit of a stretch through the front of the hip here. Now I just want you to rainbow the stretch a bit. So just move it out a little and then slowly bring it across. So it's a bit like a lazy windscreen wiper. Move really slowly and carefully so that we can just release all of the muscles across the front of the hip here. Just doing one more rainbow there, one more windscreen wiper, and then slowly bring the leg up. We're going to swap legs, hug that leg in towards your chest, put the other one on the ground, and then just slowly encourage it to lengthen out. Just finding that length, just resting, just giving that a chance to register what you want it to do. And as you feel it starting to lengthen out, you can slowly, very lazily, windscreen wiper out and across, and out and across, and out and across. And then you're just going to lift both legs up. Just put your hands on the foam roller. So now your legs are stacked directly over your hip socket here, and you can just gently move over to one side slightly. So just moving on the angle. Take the leg of the side that you're leaning on and just draw little circles. And you might notice that you're just getting a little bit of release just in that butt muscle. Good. And then come back up and we'll go over to the other side, and again just gently releasing any tightness through the base of the glute. Good. Place your feet down one at a time, lifting your pelvis up and sliding your foam roller out. And then just take a moment to reconnect in with your body, becoming aware of how you are feeling now. Take a nice inhale and exhale. And then very gently roll onto your side and sit up. And thank you very much for joining me for yet another class. I really look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.